How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. In the past, we made a video talking about the top tips or the top advice basically from the community given to brand new players or returning players to the game. It was pretty useful and a lot of people found it really helpful and people really enjoyed it. It's helped a lot of people on the way. The comments on it are great and it's just been really awesome to see that the advice that you guys gave has helped out a lot of people. So I figured we did that probably, I think it was about 8 months ago now, back in 2021, towards the beginning of 2021, and because that helped out so many people, I figured, you know what, why don't we do it again for 2022, but maybe there'll be some different stuff in here. But even if there isn't, a refresh on the video and a newer video will get pushed to more people as well. And of course, there's going to be newer people joining now, so an up-to-date version will definitely be useful. So I put another question out on my community section on YouTube and said, what advice would you give to brand new players joining RuneScape 3 in 2022? So for this video, we'll focus probably a lot on the newer players, and then maybe we'll do another one in a couple of days for returning players specifically. However, these will help out returning players as well, as if they're returning, they may make a new account, or it all kind of just carries over the same way in a lot of aspects. So if you enjoy, leave a like. If you're new to the channel or you're new to the game, then subscribe, as there will be a lot of stuff that will probably help you out coming in the future. Other than that, let's go. Alright, so the first comment says, aim for level requirements listed on quest overviews. This would give you temporary goals to achieve. Then you would eventually get to enjoy quests which are not grindy like the main game, and once complete, you will have checked off a requirement for another quest, which then feeds into the loop again. And then they've given the example of what the loop would be. See the level requirements for the quest, train up to the quest, do the quest, get the reward, and then once you've done that, you'll also have met a prereq for the next quest as well. So what this person is saying basically is questing in RuneScape 3 is really good. It's very useful, and honestly for new players, I even would suggest this for new players as well. Personally, quests are my favorite thing to do in the game, but that's because I've already got past the point where I kind of need to do them now. But early on, quests for new players are brilliant. They teach you the game, they take you on great adventures, and they show you what the game has to offer, and then they also give you great rewards which will pay off in the long run. They will help level your account up, giving you a well-rounded leveled account with not too much effort. You kind of level up in a way that isn't grindy and repetitive because you're doing quests and getting the rewards that way. And RuneScape's very different to other MMOs, so if you're new to the game and you're finding this video, maybe you're considering playing, or maybe you've just made your account and you're looking for any information, then quests are very different in this game than other games. What I mean by that is you will not just go and do the same thing, and quests won't just reward you with combat XP or regular XP. You have all different types of XP. You've got your woodcutting XP, your fishing XP, your actual combat XP for different styles. All your experience in this game is split up depending on what skill you're training and what the reward is going to give you. So each quest will train you in different aspects. It will teach you different things about those skills as well. So you will learn a lot yourself, and also you'll end up getting experience put into those from rewards. But not only that, you unlock different places in the map. You unlock like different things you can do and different places you can visit and different things you can use in game. Honestly, it is super useful to do quests, and I would absolutely recommend not skipping them. If you're a free-to-play player and you haven't bought membership yet because you want to test the game out, do all the free-to-play quests. Set a goal to finish all the free-to-play quests before you even become a member maybe, because honestly, they teach you a lot about the game. And even if you start as a member, I would suggest probably working on the free-to-play quests again as well, because like I say, they teach quite a lot, they give you decent rewards, and they will lead into other stuff as well. But each and every quest in RuneScape 3 will take you on a different adventure. They won't just take you to kill some wolves and come back with the hides. They'll take you on different things to help the chef do this cooking, so you can help him make a feast for the king of the actual city that you're working in, leading all the way to helping a ghost go to rest. And you'll get different rewards based on what the quest is. There's so many different things, and they lead from small beginner quests all the way up to grandmaster quests. So honestly, if you are getting into RuneScape 3, something that you can absolutely benefit from is getting the right mindset to do your quests, because honestly, once you get into them, they are very enjoyable. They actually are. I'm really a hypocrite for saying this, but they are actually really enjoyable, and they are absolutely worthwhile doing as well. This next comment is really important for me to include, and I actually agree with it 100%. However, there will be certain people that this doesn't apply to, but the majority of players should absolutely know about this and keep it in mind. And that is that you should play the game at your own pace. Always have goals set for yourself. Remember that the most fun that you'll have in-game is not when you're at endgame. It's a long grind and journey to get there. So, one thing that I think RuneScape 3 has as an issue for beginner players especially is you join the game and you may already have some idea of what endgame is like, because it's such an old game. You've probably heard about it, or you've probably come across from old school maybe, or maybe you're returning after years and years and you want to get into that awesome endgame that you've seen, because the endgame in RuneScape 3 is brilliant. It is. The bosses are unique, they are different from other games as well, and they do provide a good challenge, especially while you're learning them. However, you shouldn't necessarily rush yourself to the endgame as a brand new player, because in RuneScape, the actual game of getting from the beginning to the end is also the main content as well. It's not just about get through all the grind and then get to the end game like most MMOs is. Normally, new MMOs these days is just grind away all the levels, get through all that crap, and just get to your end game and do your PVM, your bossing, and or your PvP or whatever. RuneScape 3 is very different. RuneScape as a whole is very different. You should enjoy the beginning bits. You should enjoy being a noob in the game and working on all the other goals along the way as well, because each goal will feel like you've made a big achievement in the game too. And then when you do get to the end game, you are going to adore your account, because you've literally put all this time into it, you've invested all this time into it, and it will mean more to you than if you just literally looked up the most efficient way to do absolutely everything the whole time and just rushed through all of it, skipped as much stuff as possible, and then just kind of got to endgame just so you can kill bosses, because then you're just on a bossing simulator and you've missed out that big achievement thing along the way. Like I said, this is not going to be for everybody. Some people will just literally be like, nah, just want the end game, doesn't matter. But at least you've sort of heard this bit out, and at least you've kind of got that in your mind that, you know what, maybe I should be paying attention to the early game as well, and the whole journey as well, because Jagex have done a great job of making the journey in RuneScape 3 the actual content rather than just the end game. The very beginning bit does need a bit of like work to help new players get into the game, but once you're into it, which doesn't take absolutely ages, once you are into it, honestly, the journey from being a beginner to actually getting towards the end game stuff is absolutely incredible. Okay, so I realize that so far I'm kind of giving a lot of input on stuff, but I think this is kind of useful, and it should be kind of a good thing, I think, to explain things, especially if it is new players that are watching this, right? So this next one is quite long as well, and it probably will lead into a bit more of a discussion, but just bear with, because this one is going to be super helpful for so many people, and it's kind of important as well, like all of them are. So you guys are doing great so far. Anyway, next comment says, 1, the all-powerful Wiki. 2, friend chats, which is FCs, you may see that slang thrown around in game as well. And 3 is Discord. The main part of the comment says, I don't know how I would have made it without the help of people on various Discords and in friend chats, and my best friend telling me what search terms to put in the wiki. Core hunting friend chat going to 99 divination easy before the rework, and it was so fun to do divination as a group. Learning how to use the wiki was completely game changing, and I think RuneScape 3 is literally not meant to be played without the wiki. PVME Discord, Sutibot and the Viswax Discord and some others are all staples for me as well. These things are not inductive at all, and the difficulty I had as a new player, even when trying to figure out how to join a friends chat, was ridiculous. So detailed guide on that would be awesome. So there's a few things to cover here, right? First off, for new players, what the hell are they talking about with the wiki? Like Wikipedia? No. There's a RuneScape wiki, and it has everything you could possibly imagine for information on a specific item, on a specific like monster, on a specific boss, on a town, on anything. Literally, a jug of milk will literally be on there. You can get any information on anything, where it is dropped, how to obtain it, what it was worth. All that sort of stuff is on the RuneScape wiki. Now, in-game, there is going to be something by your chat window on the left-hand side, which is a search icon with a wiki word next to it. You can either click that and search, or you could just open a Google page and just type in RuneScape 3, whatever it is you're looking for. For example, RS3 bucket of milk, and then press enter. You will notice that the first page will likely be the RuneScape 3 wiki, and it will say bucket of milk. Click on that, it'll give you all the information, and you can apply this to anything in-game and it will come up. Everything that is in-game will be on the wiki as well. So the wiki is a great source of information, and also of course you've already made it to YouTube, and there's a lot of great YouTubers on here as well that make great content on guides and information and tips and everything that you could need. You'll be able to find it on YouTube too, so give that a search if that's your way of finding things out. Next is the friends chats. In the game you can either join a clan, which has like a set amount of people depending how many people are in the actual clan, and then there's friends chats as well that you could join that do specific things in game. For example, if you are wanting to level a certain skill, there may be a mini game to help you level that, but the mini game world may be a little bit empty, so you join a friends chat that is dedicated to doing that mini game, and you can get involved nice and easy. There's also friends chats that will offer services that will just basically be people that are there dedicating their time to make sure you can get through the game nice and easy. So that stuff is available, and while I can't just tell you every single friends chat that is available, you could definitely jump in a Discord server, which leads us into the next bit, and ask out in there if there's any stuff that you may have questions about. Now, in the description for this video, there is a link to my Discord server, and new players are very common there, so it is absolutely fine for you to join and ask questions. Don't worry about like asking the wrong question or anything like that. There is no wrong questions. Someone will help you out and reply to you as soon as they possibly can. There's a lot of people in there, and there's a lot of helpful people too, so get in there, ask any questions you may have, and you are absolutely welcome to send me a DM as well if you have any questions like that too. One thing to keep in mind is RuneScape 3 does a very kind of not very good job of teaching new players what to do at the get-go. It kind of lets go of your hand very early, so once you feel confused, remember to use the wiki, remember to use things like YouTube as well to help you get through stuff and understand stuff, because once you get to the point of understanding the basics, trust me, you will not want to put this game down. The next comment comes from Zappy, and he says, always good to have some goals, but don't make your goals too long or big, or you might burn out, considering RuneScape is very addictive in general. So this is really good advice, and it's something that I say quite a lot to new players. You should have 2 lots of goals set all the time. What I mean by this is you should have a long-term goal, which is going to be something in the very far part of the game, whether it is just get to a point where you can start killing end-game bosses, which is a hell of a long way away. Of course, it could be a year, it could be 6 months, depending on how often you play and depending on the playstyle that you decide to go for. However, you should also have closer short-term goals. Short-term goals help you not burn out. The reason being is Jagex, like I said earlier on, have done a really good job of making sure everything you do kind of has a great rewarding feeling to it. I don't know, it's weird. You can get yourself 1 level in the skill and you're like, yes, I've done it, I've got 1 more level, and I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be, but that level it's just good. Whether it's the fireworks, whether it's the big number on screen, whether it's the fact that the game says congrats or your clan spams you with grats, I don't know what it is. Jagex have done a great job of making sure it feels rewarding. So when you have a long-term goal, set loads of short-term goals that will get you there, and that way as you achieve those goals, you feel like you are progressing, you see the difference, and you can actually do stuff along the way. You don't have to only have one end game goal of defeat every boss in the game. If that is your goal, you want to defeat every boss in the game once, then maybe you just have set goals of killing specific bosses along the way as well. I want to be able to kill Nex, which is a pretty early endgame boss, but it is definitely a gateway into getting towards endgame bossing. So you could set that as one of the goals for one of the further long goals as well. But then before that, you would have stuff like get level 50 in every skill, get level 70 in every skill, unlock this certain bit of gear, figure out how to get through this specific quest, unlock all these different quests, get this many quest points, complete this many quests, get myself 99 in the first combat skill that I want to get to 99, so that would be my main combat style to use, and then start upgrading through stuff like that. There's going to be so many things you can do along the way, and achieving those will make the game feel incredibly rewarding, as mentioned before, and trust me, it is a great way to play, because every time you hit those freaking rewards, it's like a dopamine hit, and you keep coming back for more. This next comment couldn't be more accurate. They say, take it slow, read what abilities do not rush into full manual, and above all else, if it feels like a chore, stop doing it and switch it up. So the main thing here is going to be kind of the end bit where it says, if it feels like a chore, stop doing it and switch it up. But we'll get to that, we'll cover the stuff in the order that they said, and then we'll get towards the end bit and discuss it as a whole. But take it slow. This is really important, especially as a brand new player. There's so much going on. The world's huge. There's so much stuff you can do. If you're rushing through stuff, you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to literally think, I need to do this, I need to do that. There's so many things. How to calculate level all this at once? I don't have enough levels in my fletching yet. I've not even started woodcutting. I'm literally just fishing stuff. I want to kill stuff. I want to do this. I want to do my slayer. Trust me, slow it down. Take your time. This is an MMO. You're going to invest quite a bit of time into this and just enjoy things as you do it. Read what abilities do. Important. If you plan on doing any sort of combat whatsoever, you want to read your abilities as you unlock them. As a new player, you will start off with a few abilities, but you will unlock them as you get to certain levels. When you unlock that ability, give it a read so you know where you're at. This way, when you get towards the end of the game, you won't have 50 abilities to read through. You will know them because you've learnt them one at a time as you go along. Set the keybinds for them that you want to have them on as you go along as well, because that's going to make it easier for you to get into that too. Now, this person says don't rush into full manual. What they mean by this is the combat mode. There's 3 combat modes in this game, one being full manual, which is where you press everything, which is what kind of most MMOs do these days, but RuneScape 3 is a bit different, where they have like 1,000 abilities and it's just confusing as hell. So there's a different option in the game called Revolution and Revolution++. Revolution, the standard version, will basically use your basic abilities for you, allowing you to use your thresholds and ultimates and defense abilities by yourself. This is probably the most common setup that most players start with. However, the absolute base and default option, I believe, is Revolution Plus Plus, which will use everything for you. You click on a target and it will automatically kill that target for you. Now, you can pick whichever one you want to do. There's no one to tell you what is going to be best for you. However, if you are looking to get into bossing later on, it may be worth not dropping into Revolution Plus Plus, and also probably not dropping into full manual straight away as well, as it can get overwhelming. So pick the combat style that's good for you, test them out, test each one of them out, and just see what you enjoy the most or what makes sense the most. But either way, still read your abilities. Understanding what those abilities do is going to be important later on. Finally, if it feels like a chore, stop doing it and switch it up. This is really important too. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff in game. There's also dailies, like most MMOs. There is also loads of stuff that you can just grind out the same thing to get to a certain requirement. If you are getting to the point where you feel like you have to do something because it is going to lead to something that you kind of want, just either slow it down and mix it up with other stuff and just sort of get there at a later date, or just stop doing it. If you're not enjoying something, don't do it. There's so many things in the game that I've not done, and that's because I just don't enjoy it. There's certain things that people say, how have you not done this yet? You're a max player that's been playing for over 15 years. How the hell do you not have this? And I'm like, because it's boring. Because it's boring. Don't do it. If it's not fun and you're not enjoying it and you don't technically want to do it, just sack it off. You can come back to it later on. You can work on it at a different time. If you're not enjoying the game, when especially as a beginner, then stop doing what you don't want to enjoy. Sometimes things will be worth working on, and you can do those slowly over time, but you don't have to rush to it. You don't make that all you want to do, because before you even get there, you're probably going to start feeling a bit burnt out. Well, there's been a lot of advice for helping you get into the game and get started in the game. Maybe we should throw something at you that's going to protect you from the game and some of the people in it. Jim Bob the Wise says, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Do not go to any websites advertising in the game. JMods will never message you in-game, and beggars are probably scammers too. People will try to scam you. Just report them and move on. So, RuneScape is a game where the currency kind of has a value to it, and a lot of people do value the currency in it, and they value your items as well. Don't be fooled thinking I've only just started, the items I have no value or anything like that. The amount of money I've got has no value. People will be out to get you for whatever the hell they can get. This isn't something to make you think that every single person is like this in game. It is actually quite uncommon, but it does happen, and it is worth mentioning. There'll be people mentioning like websites that'll give you something, or someone will be talking about a YouTube giveaway. Do not go to any of these videos. They are designed to scam you. The people that are messaging you, asking you for like your login details or anything like that, or taking you somewhere random that you don't know, offering you money and stuff for no reason, or asking you to be in their YouTube video or anything like that. Trust me, no one is going to be offering you 500 million GP for no reason. It's just they're trying to scam you. Be careful. Do not give anyone any of your login details. Do not think that someone's going to message you asking you to be a player moderator, especially if you're a new player for one, but also it will just never happen anyway. Scams and hacks and lures in this game to try and take your gold away from you or your entire account are very common. So you need to keep an eye out for it, and you are the person who is the only line of defense. I nearly said last line of defense. You're the only line of defense. Trust me. If you make the mistake, then it's gone. So you have to be careful. It happens more often than I would like to admit. Like, people message quite often and say, oh, I've been hacked or I've been scammed. The amount of times I see it in streams and stuff. Guys, think about stuff as it's happening. If it's too good to be true, just ask yourself, why would they be doing this? If there's any other reason, then they're it's just gonna happen. Then maybe just think, this is probably a lure. This is probably a scam. They are probably trying to get my account. Be careful. Don't click any random links. So this last bit of advice is coming from me directly, and I want to say thank you first of all to all the people that left comments. There's so many. A lot of them are very similar, so I couldn't include like tons and tons of them, but also it's kind of a long video already and I didn't want to drag this on too much longer. But this comes from me. Take your time in the game, enjoy yourself, focus on what you want to do, and if someone comes over to you and tells you you're playing wrong, tell them to go away, because you're playing how you want to play. This is really important. Have fun. Don't do things you don't want to do. I'm kind of touching on the things that have been mentioned already. The next thing is for you players that are playing as free to play to begin with, it is kind of important to work towards being a member. Now, when I say work towards being a member, I don't mean grab out your credit card and always pay for membership straight away. What I mean is work on your account, get it to a point where you're happy with it, and then you have two options. You can either use real life money to get your membership to actually upgrade your account and unlock a hell of a lot of content. The game is so much bigger as a member. Or you can actually get your membership in-game with in-game money. So you can work on getting money in-game as a free-to-play player buy yourself an item called a bond from the Grand Exchange. You'll figure out what the Grand Exchange is. Trust me, there's a tutorial for it. You will absolutely work it out, and it'll become like the core of everything you do. But the Grand Exchange will sell you a bond. You can buy one of those, and you can redeem it for 14 days of membership. Once you hit membership, trust me, you can support that membership as a brand new player just from doing a few things each and every day. You can probably spend about 20 minutes a day doing these things, and you will be able to pay for it. These things include shop runs, these things include Viswax, and of course you're going to be doing stuff in game anyway that's going to progress your account and make a bit of money. So you can keep that membership going without spending a single bit of real life money. So for anyone who is wondering, yes, it is worth being a member. Absolutely it is. It unlocks a hell of a lot of stuff. It unlocks pretty much all of the bosses in game, and it unlocks different ways to level your account up and a hell of a lot of more skills. So it is worth doing, and you don't have to spend real money on doing this. You can do it in game. Other than that, I hope you all have a hell of a lot of fun. I hope that you really do enjoy it, and that's like the main thing. If you're not enjoying something, like the person said earlier, switch it up, do something different, find something in game that you're going to enjoy. There's a lot of stuff to do. Oh, also, get in the clan, make friends, talk to people. This is an MMO. Play the game as an MMO. Don't play it on your own. Trust me, you'll enjoy it more. Alright, so this has been a hell of a long video, so I'm going to end this bit pretty quick. The outro is going to be quick. To all the new players listening, I hope that you did enjoy this, and I hope that you did get some value out of it. If you have any questions, like I say, there's a link in the description to my Discord server. Go ahead and ask any questions there, or just drop in the comments below. I reply to as many as I possibly can, but it's getting a bit more difficult these days. That being said, I'm pretty certain that people from the community will also reply to you if I haven't already, and they will help you out with any answers there too. Other than that, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, of course, because it will give you some more stuff like this in the future that will help you out. We do stuff that helps new players quite a lot, as I do feel like RuneScape 3's newer player base does need that little bit of help to stay in the game, because it's lacking a little bit. We definitely need you guys to stay around, so hopefully we can help you do that. Otherwise, thank you all so much to the channel members for your extra support. Your names have been on screen right now as always. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.